Hey gang, I wanted to tell you about the absolute worst party I ever attended. Not only were people rude, but I very nearly got gay bashed. Now I'm a straight guy, and lest anyone think I'm making a really awful joke, I'm not. It was a bad party. It was a house party in Tacoma, Washington, and my buddy invited me to it. I was about 19 years old, a long time ago. And I didn't know anybody there. We roll up to the party, and the median age is about 35 to 40 at this party, and which seemed impossibly old to me at the time. So we go in, and the first thing I notice, and this is actually a good sign, is I see like there's a countertop, and they've got weed out on the countertop, just sitting there. Nice stuff too. I mean, I'm 19 and broke, so I thought that was cool. But things started to go south when my buddy introduced me to the owner of the house, and I guess the guy who was throwing the party. This little bald mustachioed dude, probably about 40, and being the gentleman I am, when I was introduced, I said, "Oh, it's nice to meet you," and the dude says, "It's nice to meet you." Who fucking does that? Especially when you're a little runty guy. Well, anyway, so I just went somewhere else. But as the party went on, I hung out mostly with my friend because I didn't know anybody. People who knew my friend came up and asked, and they'd say, somebody keeps asking if you guys are gay. And had this been today, people just wouldn't ask. People would have shut the guy down or whatever. But, it's a long time ago. And it keeps coming back to us. This guy keeps... So we decided, we're going to go check out this guy. And my buddy and I, we walk out. He's out back. We walk out, arm in arm. And there's this good old boy, like, in the backyard, sort of leaning on a fence with his arms out. And he's not particularly big. He's 5'10" or whatever. And he's really drunk. And my friend says, hey, we heard you were looking for us. And he's like, you guys faggots? Which, it was a more acceptable word back then, but still, it's just not something you say. And my friend immediately, he said, no, I'm here with my girlfriend. He's like, how about you, you faggot? And, anyway, I just said, maybe. Because, fuck you, And, so the guy says, I can tell, you're that way because you've been staring at my balls all night. Which, I don't know what I did to give him that impression, and I told him so. And he said, I'll bet you'd like to, come and perform a service on me. And I told him no, I wouldn't. And my buddy actually asked him, it's a funny line that you hear like comedians say, but my buddy actually got this in. He's like, hey, does your family tree branch? He asked the guy that. And the guy's like, what do you mean? And my friend's like, well, does your family tree branch, out like this? Or is it a bunch of loops and whorls? And the guy's like, it branches. And so anyway, that whole line of questioning just went nowhere. But it started, things started getting aggro, and I was a little intoxicated, and so, I always think when I'm drunk that I can take anybody. This guy was smaller than me. And suddenly my friend just hustles me away. Just boom, gets me out of there. And, like, what are you doing? I could have taken him. And my buddy's like, no. He was apparently, when his hands were up there, he was apparently grabbing a board on the back of the fence. And whether I'm bigger than him or not, I'm pretty sure the board would have taken me out. So we left not long after that. Shitty party. But good news is, I stole their weed.